The Railway Series. Terry the Forgotten Engine. Written and performed by Christopher Birtwistle. 117. A small grey and black engine with 117 on its side in soot-covered letters was standing at the platform. It was a Hudswell Clark long tank engine and was very unique looking with sloping side tanks. It was early and he'd just shunted some trucks for his morning train down his quiet branch line. He ran it with two other engines, the biggest and newest of which was an MER Class D40, and there was also an old tank engine who didn't say much. It ran down from a small Scottish town to a junction where it connected to the main line. It had been some years since the passenger service had been stopped on the line, and now his days consisted of pulling animals to market from the smaller towns the line connected. However, just as he was sizzling nicely, he saw the station master walking towards him. He had a sad look on his face, and he held a piece of paper in his hand. What's the matter, sir? I'm sorry, 117, but this branch line's being closed down. I just got the news this morning. All steam engines here are to be sent off to be scrapped. 117's face fell. I understand, sir. He could not believe it. He had heard tales from the junction that some steam engines were being scrapped, but he was still in his prime. The station master walked away with a tear in his eye when 117's driver spoke up. You're not ending up on the scrap heap yet. You're a fine worker, one of the best engines I ever had. I'll fight them over this. But even though his driver sounded sure, 117 wasn't. A few days later, when the other two engines had been taken away by diesels, 117 sat in the shed sadly. He knew he was to be next, and he wasn't going to fight it. He hadn't seen his driver in days and expected whatever plan the driver had probably failed. That's why he was surprised when he saw his driver and fireman enter the shed, with the manager, the guard and the station master. What's all this? He asked, quite surprised. We told you we'd fight it, 117, the driver said. Indeed. We just had a meeting with some people from British Railways. They said we could buy you off them, explained the manager. We tried to buy the others too, but we were too late. There was a moment of silence. However, we could no longer run you on British soil, so we have pulled together some money and are shipping you off to an island not far from here. We cannot come with you, but a farmer from there has agreed to keep you in his shed until we can find out what to do with you. 117 was delighted. However, butted in the driver, you need a name. We had one in mind, but only if you'd like it. 117 listened closely. The first letters of our surname spell out Terry. What do you think? Thank you, sirs. I would like that a lot. I will never forget you. And that is why I'm here, said Terry, finishing his story to the Fat Controller. I never did hear back from them, so here I stayed. The farmer was nice enough for a while, but he needed a pumping engine when the soil around here dried up. He made a shocking job of it, mind you, and he sold parts of me he didn't need to buy tools. When at last the ground did dry up, he saw no reason to take me. Terry sighed. Very interesting. You see, I'm the controller of the railways on this island, and I am afraid I'll need to take down this shed to build a station here. The Fat Controller started. Before he could continue, Terry spoke up. Oh, goodness me, sir, it is an honour. I understand if you've no room for an old engine like me. All I ask is that I'm not scrapped. The cutter's torch is a lonely end. The Fat Controller laughed, much to Terry's shock. Scrap? Perish the thought. You may be one of the few of your class to survive, and I could not possibly scrap an engine whose crew thought so highly of him to save him from scrap. You shall go to my works for a full overhaul, no expense spared. Once my men are done with you, you'll feel a new engine." "Oh, thank you, sir."